Hey everyone, this is the trainer from the Electronic Service Division. Today I'm going to talk about how to change margins and a few other things. To change the margin, there are two ways to do that. I am going to click on the page layout button so that you can see you can change the margin from the readily available uh, command on the page layout tab, or you can change it from the page layout dialog box. I'm going to start from this readily available margin command here. If I click the drop down arrow, I can see as of now, the margin on this spreadsheet that I'm looking is at normal size. That's why you can see the blue highlight behind it. If I wanted to have a wide margin, I can click on this wide margin. The minute you do that, you can tell some of the data will be lost on the right side because there is the indication with the dotted line. This is how you're going to be cut off if you were to print at this point in time. So I'm going to go back to margin. I may want to do the narrow margin so that everything would fit. So if I do the narrow margin, now my dotted line would include all the way to column D. You can change it that way, or like I said, you can also change it from the page setup dialog box. I'm going to launch the dialog box by clicking on the arrow right there. I am going to click on the margins button. Here we are. I can change the top, bottom, left, and right from here. Let's say I wanted to have a little bigger on the left. I can click the up arrow spinner to make it up to 5, and I can click on the print preview and see whether it still fit. So obviously, the minute I extend the left margin, my right side doesn't fit anymore. So if I wanted to change it back, I can change the margin from the click the back button here. I am going to go back to margin. I'm going to go back to the narrow margin. By doing so, it will fit everything in that portrait orientation from the column A through column D. Next thing I wanted to talk about is how to set the print area for samples. Sometimes you have a lot of data. You wanted to see how your data will look by printing a few lines instead of printing the entire data. To do that, first you have to select some of the data you wanted to print. Let's say I wanted to print only about 8 rows of data and see how is it going to look. And after I select it, I'm going to go to print area. I'm going to set the print area. Now, if you were to print now, you are only printing the first 8 rows of this data. So let's go back to 5 and let's do the print. And print preview tells you exactly you are printing only a few lines that your selection in your print set area. So if you wanted to get away from that, you go back to that back button. Then you want to go back to print area. You want to do a clear print area. By doing so, you will not see those lines anymore. The next one is I wanted to talk about how to put or insert the page breaks. Let's say I wanted to print about 15 rows on the first page. By 16 row, I wanted to go onto the second page. So I am going to select row number 16 where I want to begin my page 2, and I'm going to click on the break button. I'm going to do insert break. By doing so, the gray line come along, and you can see this is going to be on the second page. Let's go back to the 5. Let's go to the print, and you can see on the first page only up to row number 15 comes, and if you click on the page number 2, you will see row number 16 through the end comes on the page number 2. That is how you would put or insert the page break. If you wanted to clear, again, you can click back the page break and you can remove page break, or you can reset all page break. By resetting all page break, if you have more than one page break, it will reset every single page breaks. That is how you would change the margin and set print area, and how to insert and delete the page breaks. Again, this um, training is brought to you by the Akron Summit County Public Library from the Electronic Service Division. Hey, thank you for watching.